So you're probably aware that the 40k galaxy is absolutely flooded with Tyranids. But where did all these alien space dinosaurs actually come from? So if I'm being honest, we don't actually know for sure. But there's a lot of really cool theories. Now the one thing that we know for sure is that they come from outside of our galaxy. And one of the darker theories is that they actually managed to succeed in purging all life from their galaxy. And if this is true, then it would make sense why they've shown up in ours. Because first and foremost, the Tyranids exist pretty much to do one thing, and that's to eat pretty much everything in sight. And if their galaxy had completely run out of food, it would make sense that they'd go to find more. The creepiest part about this theory is that they probably didn't just go to our galaxy. Some people believe that the Tyranids have already conquered all of the other ones except for ours, which would mean ours is the last one left with sentient life. And the quintillions of Tyranids we've seen so far are only the scouts. Now the next two theories are pretty far-fetched, but just bear with me. The first is that the Tyranids were actually created by the Silent King. You see, when the Necrons went to sleep, the Silent King stayed awake, basically exiled himself and then left our galaxy for 60 million years. This Eldar emissary basically tells us that during that exile he created all of the Tyranids, or beings of infinite hunger, which definitely sound like bugs. And his goal was for them to eradicate all life within the galaxy except for the Necrons. And basically the Necrons would inherit a kingdom of death. Now, considering the source on this was basically just a bit of promotional material, we don't really know if it's true or not. As anyone in the Imperium will tell you, the Eldar be lying all the time. Now, other people believe the Tyranids were created by the Old Ones, as before they went to war with the Necrons during the War in Heaven, their job was basically to seed life throughout the galaxy. It's rumored that the Tyranids basically served like a fail-safe option. The idea was that if everything went tits up, then they'd have a reset button. But unfortunately, with the conclusion of the War in Heaven, the Old Ones went extinct, and at some point their creation got loose. Now, even though it's highly unlikely, I would actually give more credence to the Necron theory. And this is because the Tyranids seem to have the ability to detect them. There are multiple documented sightings of a Tyranid fleet basically closing in on a world, just to veer wildly off course at the last second, just for it to later be revealed that that world was actually a Necron tomb world. The living metal that the Necrons are made of can't be digested by the Tyranids. Now, it's not to say that battles between the two factions don't happen, because it definitely does. But since the Tyranids can't convert them into biomass, getting into a war with the Necrons is basically just a net loss for them. It's possible that this was part of the Silent King's design. But again, this is just wildly speculative. Now the last theory is probably the most crazy, and that's that the Tyranids are actually running away from something far bigger and scarier than them. Now what could possibly be bigger and scarier than the Tyranids is anybody's guess, but whatever it is must be truly horrifying. You know, basically.